I'm sensing the energy of someone who targeted you, specifically one individual among possibly several. Initially, this person felt justified and powerful in their actions towards you, believing fully in the harm they inflicted. However, they're now grappling with doubt, realizing perhaps they shouldn't have acted as they did. In the past, this individual managed to rationalize their behavior towards you, finding ways to cope with the repercussions of their actions. But as I convey this message, I hear a voice clearly state, "The demon left." This leads me to believe that for some of these individuals, not all, there was an external negativity influencing them. This malevolent energy, having failed to achieve its destructive aims through this person, or to extract what it sought from you, has now abandoned its host. It discarded them once it realized they were no longer useful, moving on to seek another vulnerable target. That's what I heard, and it explains why, for some, there's a shift happening. They're beginning to feel they can no longer justify their actions. This change is likely because the low-level energy that was attached to them, which helped justify their treatment of you, has left. Demons can influence behavior in this way. I recently posted a video about this phenomenon. This entity was able to attach itself because the person was emitting a vibration that made them a suitable host. Now, with the departure of this entity, they are left questioning their actions, realizing that what they did was excessively harmful. This isn't just about someone who talked behind your back, though for some of you, it involved gossip. For others, it was much more severe. This was a deep and impactful wrongdoing that went far beyond normal conflicts or misunderstandings. I'm hearing the word horrendous. It's a strong word, but it accurately describes what this person did to you. Actions that are likely to cost them significantly, and they are struggling to cope with the repercussions. This person is undergoing a kind of mental torment. They are being haunted by their deeds towards you, and there's no escape from such torment. People often try their hardest to flee from their own thoughts and minds, but you truly cannot escape your own conscience. No amount of drugs or alcohol can erase the memory. In fact, sometimes substances only intensify the guilt and make the mental anguish worse. This distress they're experiencing is accelerating their karma, causing repercussions to manifest more quickly than they might have otherwise. Previously, while they were on their high horse, minor consequences might have occurred here and there, but nothing drastic enough to make them reconsider their actions. Now, they're in a state of deep distress, directly tied to what they did to you, and it's like karma is catching up to them at an expedited pace. Now, they're trapped with their own thoughts, facing the irreversible consequences of their actions. I sense there are documents, photos, perhaps videos, tangible evidence of their deeds. It's heavy, almost palpable, though nothing specific comes to mind right now. If it does, it will find its way to me. This person went to great lengths to harm you, and now it's as if they cannot escape the weight of their own choices. God isn't allowing them any respite from their thoughts. They're mentally tormented, enduring the very torture they wished upon you. They wanted you to feel isolated, defeated, mentally shattered. What you emit into the universe comes back to you, karma in its truest form. Perhaps over the past few years, you felt overwhelmed, mentally battered, or tormented, regardless of whether you felt it or not, because this person projected such negativity toward you, a person chosen for a higher purpose by God. Now they find themselves ensnared in their own venomous trap. Interestingly, no one is actively targeting them. There's no external adversary contributing to their downfall. Their suffering is entirely self-inflicted, which only intensifies their agony because there's no one else to blame. This solitary suffering makes their situation dire, as there's no clear escape or relief in sight. I observe them trying to mingle with others, attempting to mask their inner turmoil with a facade of normalcy. But they're failing. Others around them can see the cracks in their veneer. They notice the physical signs of distress, the sunken face, the hair loss. This person's entire demeanor is changing, a visible manifestation of their internal decay. The toll is not just emotional, but also physical, as their appearance begins to reflect the chaos within. In a twist of fate, the person who wished misfortune upon your appearance is now experiencing the very downfall they envisioned for you. They wanted you to lose your allure, perhaps out of envy or spite. Yet, ironically, it's their own looks that are deteriorating. This isn't the work of anyone else. It's purely the repercussion of the negative energy they released into the world. It's a stark reminder of how deeply someone can be consumed by their own malice. This individual is under immense stress, and it's showing. They are someone who historically struggled with taking responsibility for their actions, often pointing fingers at others for their own faults. Now, for the first time, they find themselves unable to escape the consequences of their own choices. It feels as though you've managed to bring down a person who might be described as a psychopath or a severe narcissist, and remarkably, without actively doing anything. That's a testament to your strength. They've spent their life dodging accountability, causing harm without a second thought, and lacking any real empathy. They targeted you, believing you deserved the torment they intended to inflict. But now, the tables have turned. They are forced to stew in the outcomes of their actions, to live with the discomfort and the ugliness they wished upon you, which has instead befallen them. It's a profound, albeit harsh, realization for them that they can no longer justify their behavior or escape the mental torment they're experiencing. It's as if this person has reached their day of reckoning, standing before God, forced to account for their actions. They find themselves in a celestial court, with no defense prepared, unable to justify the harm they inflicted upon you. They're grappling with a harsh judgment, akin to being in a courtroom, required to argue their innocence, but coming up empty. There's nothing they can say, no excuses can mask their actions, especially since you never provoked this mistreatment. They can't even shift the blame onto any malevolent spirit or demon, though it's doubtful they were even aware of being influenced in such a way. But ignorance is no defense, and they can't point fingers at anyone but themselves. This is a novel and uncomfortable reality for them, having never truly accepted responsibility for their actions. Now they're overwhelmed by the weight of their deeds and the novel burden of accountability. They are confronting emotions they've never truly felt before, forced to own up to what they've done. Moreover, they are acutely aware of the impending consequences of their actions. The anticipation of judgment looms large, adding to their torment. I envision them alone in their home, the walls closing in, as they reckon with the inevitable outcome of their choices. The reality of their situation is sinking in, and there's no escape from the consequences they've summoned upon themselves. This individual might be grappling with intense paranoia, sensing an impending event without knowing precisely what it is. They might catch glimpses of shadows out of the corner of their eye, notice objects moving inexplicably around their home, hear unexplained noises, or suffer through haunting nightmares. More distressingly, they might be experiencing episodes of sleep paralysis, which adds a terrifying layer to their already fraught mental state. If you feel moved to do so, you might consider praying for this person. However, it's crucial to maintain focus on your own path and the practices that have supported your well-being. Whether this situation is unfolding right now as you watch this, or if it has already transpired, if you find this resonating deeply with your own experiences, understand that this is not just a reflection of past events, it's a mirror of current energies. From the day you come across this message, know that this person is enduring a profound mental ordeal, and they have no one to blame but themselves. This is a crucial moment of self-confrontation for them, and the isolation of their experience highlights the personal nature of their crisis. They are alone with their thoughts, which are proving to be both a battleground and a judge.